Mattel Josevic, born in 1936 and was murdered in 1944 at the age of 8. Joseph Roth, born in 1939 and was murdered in 1942 at the age of 3. Mir Slavkina, lived in Turov and was murdered in 1941 at the age of 6. Shlomi Brantman was born in 1935 and was murdered in 1941 at the age of 6. Lizer Schwarz lived in Dorobratovo and was murdered in 1944 at the age of 5. Misha Rosenman lived in Zhytomyr and was murdered in 1941 at the age of 6. Moisey Rosenbaum was born in 1935, lived in Lipnica, and was murdered in 1942 at the age of 7. Estira Rosenkier, born in 1935, and was murdered in 1943 at the age of 8. Idaziana Pinkovici was born in 1932 and was murdered in 1941 at the age of 9. Chaim Polak lived in Viseu and was murdered in 1944 at the age of 1. Abraham Prinz was born in 1941 and was murdered in 1943 at the age of 2. Lyuba Rakhmilevic was born in 1941 and was murdered in 1942 at the age of 1. Idek Goldstein lived in Pabiance and was murdered in 1942 at the age of 10. Jamir Roth was born in 1936 and was murdered in 1944 at the age of 8. Joseph Bach was born in 1936 and was murdered in 1944 at the age of 8. Boria Sholonikovic was born in 1940 and was murdered in 1941 at the age of 1. Zisela Zommerman was born in 1935 and was murdered in 1942 at the age of 8. Favish Karlstein was born in 1936 and was murdered in 1942 at the age of 6. Isolda Nemirovskaya was born in 1934 and was murdered in 1941 at the age of 7. Tomasz Hollander, born in 1936 and was murdered in 1941 at the age of 8.